Hello and welcome to AntLab Games. I'm your host Anthony.
And I'm Francis.
Today we're giving you an update.
A channel update. Our
like
favorite kind of content to make.
Yes, we do. We like to do these channel updates because it allows us to inform you of where we are and where we're going. And it gives you an idea of what to expect in the channel over the coming months.
Yes.
And we're very excited to share with what we have.
Yeah, we've been excited. The last couple of channel updates have been really good because we've been in a really awesome, positive space. Just super happy to be playing lots of games.
Oh yeah, exactly. So the first topic we'll cover is basically, and I'm sure you are all bored to tears with.
I know I am.
Yes. So it's really just what's been going on recently in the industry. The reason it's relevant is because it's all based on content creation and marketing and Kickstarter promotion and all that stuff, right? Which we are involved in at our channel, right? We're not isolated or insulated from that at all.
Yeah.
We do participate in that space.
Right, exactly. We do Kickstarter. You guys know we do lots of Kickstarters. Too many Kickstarters.
So what we've seen is basically something that we've been, and if you've been watching us for the last few months and watching our panels especially, this shouldn't have come as a surprise at all. Like we've been calling for this, or I guess you could say we were prophesizing.
I was going to say forecasting, if you want to use a business term.
I guess that's more realistic, right? Or projecting it, right?
Yeah.
Like all indicators were pointing to what I would think is a collapse, right? Of a system that really wasn't working, right?
Yeah.
Like it was working to make money.
Right.
But I think it was throwing ethics aside.
It was completely like we're like pre 2008 bubble burst. Like we're like sitting here in 2007, like
and
calling
all
it
these,
in to Jamie Dimon. We're like, buddy.
This
really
like look these S&P ratings on the mortgage-backed securities, these mortgage pools aren't accurate. Like these are bad mortgages you're bundling with good mortgages, and you're making them look like they're going to last. And these people aren't paying mortgages because they're being given these arms, and it's a whole mess, right? So we were basically calling this out, and it finally happened, right?
Yeah.
It's not fun when these things happen.
Yeah.
It's better to not be the one these are happening to. I will say that from pure experience.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for all of those involved in it, just because it's an ugly mess and it's very uncomfortable, and the internet's mean.
Yeah.
The internet's very mean.
Yeah,
and they're very personal.
Very easy, however you feel about situations, very easy to forget that there's humans on the other side of this. And regardless of what decisions they made, we are all flawed, right? Yeah. None of us are perfect. And that's not, that's not to say that, not to give anybody like free pass or anything.
Yeah, you don't get it.
But at the end of the day,
he's certainly, that channel's not getting a free pass on this, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not that what they did was nefarious and evil. They weren't doing anything like that, even though it was implied that they were. I personally don't think they were.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is there was a lot of activity and a lot of money being made that wasn't transparent to the audience, right?
Yeah.
And there were comments that were in those emails that really was like, especially the one, and you pointed it out right away. Yeah. Just my audience is your marketplace, and it just feels really dirty.
Well, and that's the thing, is that we are, a lot of folks in this space are conducting business, and so behind the scenes, you're doing business, you're working with people, you're marketing, But the nuanced, I think, bigger piece of this whole situation is just that the audience, you, the viewers, are not always aware of what's going on behind the scenes or how you're being capitalized.
Right.
So, with that. Yeah.
So so basically, instead of going, you've heard all these things, right? Well, we're just telling you, like we're not isolated from it. So we're involved. So we're in a position where we want to just, we'll talk a little bit about where we've come from with regards to content, and more specifically about payment for content, right? I think it's good to just be transparent. Like, I think this is a big lesson in transparency.
Especially if you don't know us, because I know a lot of you
we've
are
been transparent
on and all that stuff,
all along this journey, right? Yeah. Just because we initially got in this not to make money at all, right? And we were always the unpaid and ad-free channel. That was our moniker.
8 years ago.
Yeah,
9 years ago.
Welcome to Games, always unpaid and ad-free. We had ads turned off. We didn't take a penny for anything. We just took games, right? Games, like review copies of games. And there's a debate on this, but honestly, in my opinion, review copy is not payment. I don't care what you say. Like, I'm not gonna shill for someone for a $50 game.
At least not the kind of games I will say that we play. We're not doing massive like $500 all-in bundle.
Yeah. Now, if you want to send me an authentic sword, I might actually shill for you.
We're not gonna go down that route.
But if you are sending me a board game, no, I'm not shilling. Right? I'm not shilling. Honestly, we're not shilling for anybody, no matter what. And we've always been very good about that. So if you have seen any of our preview stuff, right? Just know that some Kickstarter previews in the more recent past, we started taking payment for.
Like a handful.
Right? We were doing
5,
here and there. And that was fine. They weren't reviews. We were very specific about not giving opinions on them.
Yep.
We made sure we checked the box that it was paid promotion, and it's just we've always given just a demonstration of what the product is. Product demos, in my opinion, are commercials. Right?
Yep.
Those deserve payment. I'm okay with that.
As long as it's transparent.
As long as it's transparent. We're no longer going to be in that space, though.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't feel...
It just wasn't us. I mean, like I said, we years and years and years, we didn't do any of that. And then we kind of were like, well, maybe let's dabble in it. Let's see. A lot of people are saying, well, you deserve to get paid. And there's a lot of work out there. It's hard to kind of, sort through what you want to cover and all of that. But... long story short, we did it a couple times and it just it didn't do anything for us. I think it didn't really do anything for how we want the channel to go. We still didn't have a lot of time to play the games we wanted to play. And that's really our goal now, is to get to a lot of the stuff that we're buying ourselves. A lot of the games that, we are getting review copies of published games that we're really excited to bring to you. And I know that you're excited about, because they're things maybe you have backed or that are coming up in your game store. And we want to be the ones to help you decide if this is something you want to go buy right now.
Yep. So. And look, we're not just in this to take all the free games either, because we only accept maybe half of the games offered for review. We get emails all the time about, hey, we'd love you to review this game. We're big fans, blah, blah, blah. And as much as we would love to do that, we just don't have the time to do it. And if it's a game that we don't feel we would even enjoy playing, or
that you would enjoy seeing,
or you would enjoy watching, right? We know your taste lines with ours, and I'm like, we're probably not gonna like this game. So then we know that you, the audience that we do this for, aren't gonna like it. Then so we're moving away from working for the publishers,
right,
and back towards working towards the viewers,
with a few exceptions. So a couple of things that we have done more recently, actually very recently, that we really enjoy doing and we would love to do more of are really service type things that you may never see on the channel, but we may get paid for. So I did a voiceover recently for a Kickstarter that you'll be seeing come up soon.
And that was really cool. Your voice.
Yeah, you may not. But if you do, that'd be cool. It's recognizable voice. But yeah, so sometimes publishers need that kind of thing. Photography is another one. So I do have a photography business on the side, aside from my real job and also this. And I do get paid for that work. And so I charge my normal rates for commercial photography.
So that is just, that's not even related to the channel, even though it is for board gaming and board game publishers. It's still, it's actually a different business line that she runs that gets paid to do it. So there's no reason not to get paid for that. And finally, our formal official how to play videos, the one we did for Deliverance is was paid content, but it's a how to play. That's not opinion at all. And
there's absolutely no gameplay in those. So if you do see on our channel, you see our gameplays or our playthroughs, which we will continue to do, those are not paid. We toyed with the idea of getting paid for them, over the past few years, but it's just really hard for us to separate how we feel about the game as we're playing, because that's the whole point. We want you to be able to watch us play and say, oh, they look like they're having a great time with this, and have that be, sort of not our review, but you could tell how we feel about it as we're playing. So, and then for published games, obviously, we give you our opinions.
Our opinions. We'll review it, and we'll give you your straight opinions. And again, we'll just make sure we disclose that, we got a review copy. So you can take that into account. Just know that whether we got a review copy, we've given bad reviews on games we've got review copies of. We're not afraid to do that. We're very honest in how we feel about a game. I'm like, I'm okay with it. I didn't really love it. Maybe you liked it. Maybe I didn't, or vice versa, or we both just didn't enjoy it, or it's a game that we, it's not going to stay in the collection long. We're just open, not honest about it. Because quite frankly, we're not working for the publishers. We're working for you. Just because they send us the product to demo for you doesn't mean that we owe them anything.
Right. Well, and I think, again, if this situation, too, has shown everybody anything, it's that we're only as helpful to the publishers as we maintain a valuable, transparent, honest, open relationship with you. So you come first. And based on that relationship, if we have a publisher that's like, hey, we know this is like in your scope that you guys really like worker placement games, you want to check this one out? Yeah, sure, we'll check it out. Yeah. And then we can kind of go from there. But it's the way that we've been doing things for a long time, and it's the way we want to do things going forward.
You can look back to all our videos, and I can't even tell you. I could probably count it on one hand how many times we've ever said you need to go out and buy this game. Right.
Yeah.
And those are for games we've truly were head over heels for.
Right.
Like you should own this game.
Yeah.
Like that. And when we do say that, it's coming from in here. It's not. We're not making any money on that. Right. It's just that's not the case. So
now I will say too. I just want to caveat this by saying that doesn't mean that like people that are getting paid to do this, like should be getting paid to do it in a lot of cases. I mean, here's the thing. It is a lot, especially if you're doing playthroughs. I mean, how to plays are a whole different ballgame, but a full playthrough, learning the game enough you've played it so many times and you've put hours and hours into playing it right, making sure it's right, refilming it if it's not right, which is 100% something that we always do.
We always do.
That deserves payment, especially if you are doing this as your full-time job. We're not. So that's not to say that
we're not
that's
against
right,
people getting paid to do this.
We will, and we will actually have some further. I think we'll probably do some panel discussions too on just content creation in general and getting paid and all that
and we'll get
stuff,
some folks on, some friends who actually do this for a living and get paid for it, and like we support that 1,000%. We just don't really like how that whole situation that happened.
I don't
unfolded.
support getting paid to review a game. Period.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Kickstarter, prototype, things change. I personally just can't get behind that. Yeah. If you're being paid to do it, it's really hard. I mean, and I guess if you're doing it and you're getting paid and you're giving your opinion, it just needs to be super transparent to the audience. I think if the audience is the one that you're most loyal to. Now, if you're doing basically a commercial, right? I think that there's also a responsibility on the publisher to say on the Kickstarter page, right? Yeah. This is paid content.
I think we should start saying that.
Whoever, in my opinion, whoever is demonstrating to the audience. So if we put a video on our channel and we were paid to do content for it or something, we tell you it's paid. We say, hey, by the way, we're paid for this. Here's some bias. But if you go on a Kickstarter page and it's like somebody's face, 10 out of 10, best game I've ever played, with the quote, and nowhere on that Kickstarter page, even though there's the videos and stuff are on there, you're not seeing any verbiage that says, hey, we paid some people to cover this, or even a simple statement that says, these people were paid for their, for their time, not their opinion, or whatever it is. There is not enough disclosure on the publisher side, in my opinion, to balance out. Like, not all of this falls on content creators, is what I'm trying to say.
It doesn't. But they're also equally responsible, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think. Well, actually, I think the content creator themselves are more responsible.
Right? Yeah, probably.
In their videos, they could quite easily say, I got paid a lot of money to do this content, and here it is, right? But you give a quote to a publisher who puts that on their website, on their Kickstarter campaign, like you said, and it's you saying how good this game is, 10 out of 10, it's great. That's an opinion, and that's a paid opinion, and that's a big line to cross.
Yeah, and it's something that we work with a lot of publishers, and we have good relationships with a lot of publishers, and we've been asked to give a quote or opinion or something, and very seldom will we do it. Again, even though we don't get paid for a majority of the stuff that we do, it's just a really slippery slope.
And we try to say the quote in such a way that it's not a promotional quote. It just describes,
it just describes the game.
The game is a really unique blend of worker placement and deck building that makes for a great experience, right?
Yeah.
That's a neutral quote. It just describes the game.
Right.
You need to own this game, 10 out of 10. Best game in my collection.
Very different. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a very different statement. Now, since there is some of this ambiguity here, we're not
Yeah,
I don't want
we're
any
just
part of
gonna
that. I'm just like
peel back from it, yeah.
The benefits do not outweigh the difficulty of navigating that space for me.
Right.
They just don't. So
Right.
it's not really worth it for us. So we're just this is something we were leading towards anyway.
Yeah.
Because this whole event this week just kind of solidified that for
Yep.
us, and we're like, let's just get it done now. Like so with that all said, we're really scaling back on the amount of Kickstarter content we're going to be doing going forward. Hands down. We have stuff in the queue that we've already committed to. We have stuff in the pipeline coming that we're already committed to. We're going to continue to support our publisher colleagues and friends who we've worked for years
Right.
with Kickstarter content coverage because we've built long, strong relationships with them.
And they're games that we honestly, typically tend to enjoy. They're the kinds of games that I know you guys are all excited to see. And we always disclose those too. So we always disclose these professional relationships that we have when we do the video to say, this is, obviously Eagle Griffin we've been working with for a really long time.
Yeah,
and,
Awaken. You've seen it. Awaken Realms, Eagle Griffin. We definitely worked out with them. So there's a lot of publishers, and you'll see it. You'll start to see that later on this year, the Kickstarter content that comes out. Those are the publishers we work with, and those are publishers we respect, and we do the content to help them as colleagues because we believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And we believe in their product.
It's like how we're supporting the project almost.
Yeah, and that's us trying to give value to the community in such a way that it's like, we're getting good games out in the community.
Yeah.
And again, we're never telling you to back the stuff. We're just saying, here's the game. We always, and because it's a preview, that doesn't change how, even though we're not getting paid for it, we still in a preview do not say, you need to own this game. It's fantastic. Or we'll say, we enjoy it, but that's as far as it goes. But,
yeah.
All
right, cool. So I think we beat that dead horse. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I guess we've said enough, right?
You keep going.
Nah, I
don't know that there's that much more to say.
There really isn't. I think everybody knows. You can all see what's going down, and it doesn't look good for all of those involved. Yeah. And here's one note though. I think as consumers, we need to make sure that this isn't just a blip and let's just move on, and then the behavior comes back, right?
Yeah.
I think we owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to the greater hobby and community to really hold those accountable who can prevent this from occurring further, right? Because I think this push to overhype everything has really led to a decline in game quality and an increase in game pricing.
Right.
And that's not good for anybody who is here for the hobby.
Right.
And not here for the hype. So
and that's like a whole another discussion.
Yeah, so that's just leaving it with that. I think we need to watch the next few campaigns coming out to see how they handle this.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be very,
marketing.
very telling on their stance.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, what's our next topic?
All right, let's talk about the Nexus.
Ah, yes, the board game Nexus.
It's still there.
It's still alive and it's kicking. So it So why don't you tell them about all the things you're working on behind the scenes?
So I'm always working on stuff behind the scenes. So first of all, I'm redesigning the front page of the website. So our designers did the front page originally. I kind of hate it. We've not really liked it. It's a lot to maintain with the way that they put these like sliders and stuff up there.
Full disclosure, the people we paid to build this website told us we couldn't do a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I don't know if they just didn't know they could do these things, or they didn't want us to do them, so we'd have to use them to pay them to do the things.
So but if you know me, you know that I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty.
No. And
I like
all
to
the
do
things
stuff,
that she's built on this website have been her, and it's been things that we were told we couldn't do. Yeah. And it's a shame that we had to learn it this way.
Yeah, but that's okay. It is what it is. We move on. So moving forward. Right? So anyway, redesigning the front page so it's a little more intuitive. It's more, you're getting more when you land on the page as far as like news. We're going to have like our live streams from us, but also all of our some of our partners and friends and things that do regular live streams about Beans and Dice as a live call-in show, which I don't think anybody in the space is doing a call-in show, but that'll just automatically be up there so you can go and see what events are coming up live, things of that nature. So I'm redesigning the page to be a little bit of a better kind of landing page for you. And then we are also developing, I have a content creator portal that's ready to go. So that's going to be going live. That will be an opportunity for you, if you're a content creator, to sign up and kind of have your own little profile page, and people can search for you, both just anybody using the website, but also like publishers, if they're looking for a certain type of content creator doing a certain type of coverage, they can find your profile there. You'll have a little bit of space to, put information about you, link your socials, all that kind of stuff. So all of that is ready to go. That'll be going live soon too.
Yep.
And then finally, your favorite piece, the marketplace, which is already alive. So if you have games to sell, you can head over there, register as a vendor, even if you're already a subscriber to the website, you have an account, you can go in and start selling your games.
Yeah, and your games will show up in the feed.
It does,
with
they
your
show up
price
in the
on it,
feed.
so it will show up, and people can go look, and they can buy them right off the
Well,
website.
and what's pretty cool is like if you're shopping for a game, and I see this growing more as more people list their games. But like, let's say you're looking for Terraforming Mars, you can type in Terraforming Mars on the website, and then you'll see on the bottom page, I've set it up so that you can see other copies that are for sale. And then those copies you can click on, and you'll see everybody's store and everything. And, you can click and actually see pictures of the game. So when you're selling your game and it's got a dent on the box, you can take a picture of it. And that'll just come up. It looks just like a normal page. It just has your price on it instead. So that's pretty cool.
Exciting.
We were excited about that.
And look, as you know, we shrunk down our collection to 100 games. We have a bunch, roughly 500 games in storage that I'm going to start pulling and start listing. So once we start listing those games, you're going to see a ton of games for sale at really good prices on our website. So it's probably going to be worth your interest to go there, check it out. If you see the games popping up in our marketplace store, it's your opportunity to buy some games on the cheap.
Yeah, and it's neat because the way that it's set up is, not to like geek out on this, but I spent a lot of time on it. So you can actually go in and buy, like if you have a game from us that you want to buy, you put it in your cart. You have a game from Alley you want to buy, you put it in your cart. You find 2 other games from 2 other like vendors or stores, put those in your cart. You check it all out at the same time. So behind the scenes as a vendor, like the website technically is getting paid, and then we pay out the vendors is the way it's set up. So it's really streamlined, but then you as the buyer will just coordinate. You like the seller will get a notification that they sold a game. They'll hook up with you to arrange for the shipping, which is all pre-calculated with Magic. So it's been working out really well for those that are selling games on there, and we're seeing things sell and get shipped, and it's very passive for us. We just kind of get notifications that things are happening, and I'm like, yes, it's working.
Yeah, so it's
great.
It's great. So it'll be a place to look. So coming soon. So we're going to get that. So it'll sort of refresh the website, get it going for this year, and we'll have an update video probably in a couple of weeks to really go through all the new functionality and really talk about the path forward.
Yeah.
So I think this is just to say that, hey, look, we're still doing stuff. You're not seeing a lot of it, but it's happening behind the scenes, and we just have to flip it to live, and then it's there. So that's it. So
perfect.
What next?
Last is our pipeline. We talk about what's coming up content-wise.
Yes. So
my favorite part of the update videos.
Yeah, we have a lot of so we have a lot of Kickstarter content that we have to get.
I wouldn't say a lot.
Well, it's a lot. It's like probably between 5 and 10 games. That's a lot. So, right?
I don't know that that's accurate, actually.
I think it's pretty accurate.
No, we just filmed Fiefdom.
Yeah.
Fiefdom is a game by Karma Games, designed by Juma Al-Juju, who you know from Clans of Caledonia. So he actually has 3 games that are coming up.
That's Fiefdom, and then 2 more games that we'll talk about when they come up, right?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Are they secrets?
No, they're not secrets.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we have Inventions that's coming.
Yeah, so that's 4.
That's coming up June. We have Stalkers from Awakened Realms.
5.
That is coming as well. And I don't know that we've agreed to that many more Kickstarters. Have we?
We got an email just today for another one that we're going to do. That's 6.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So I'm telling you, between 5
already?
and already 6.
See,
So between
what
5
I
and
mean?
10.
And I'm thinking of all the ones I said no to.
Don't have any.
Okay.
It adds
ridiculous.
up.
It does add up.
It adds up very quickly, and we get sucked in doing a lot of Kickstarters and not a lot of production retail games.
Right, which is what we are committing
We have
to
a stack.
doing. Yes.
Like bigger than you, that is
probably
of games that we haven't covered that we really, really want to cover because we've been putting it off because we just can't get to it. But we are our way forward here is to do much, much more retail game content.
Yes.
And get the games we really want to get to the table played for y'all.
Just like we were in the beginning.
Yep.
When things were super fun.
Back to our grassroots.
Back to our roots. So we've got, I know I have a whole list of things I want to film.
Let's go down a list of games real quick that we're planning to cover in the next couple of months.
With the exception of,
minus the Kickstarter.
Minus the Kickstarters, we have a couple of things that were sent to us. We have City of the Great Machine that was sent. We will cover Federation from Eagle Griffin, which
we played already.
Amazing. It's really good.
Really good.
Hair of the Dog, which is a cute little kind of like, I don't know. It's just a cute little card game where you're going to a bar and
haven't played it yet. Well, we will soon.
Capital Campaign, which is an older game, businessy type game. I know you're excited about that.
Right in my wheelhouse.
I have a couple of DeVere small box games, Yokai, and all that stuff that we will do. Castles of Burgundy is coming in from Waken Realms. We already covered that in Kickstarter, but we're trying to do more coverage of retail games after they come out, even if we've already covered them in Kickstarter. So we'll probably do something with that. I want to do Age of Atlantis. I've been dying to get this to the table. So that's on the floor somewhere, I think.
It's on the wall. It's over there.
Is it? Oh, okay. It's behind me. These are the ones I want to play. Age of Heroes we've played. We want to play on the channel.
Yep.
Woodcraft
we've got.
We have Revive, which is still in shrink. We bought it and just haven't broken it out yet.
Hear great things about that.
Sky Mines, Clinic, Coffee Traders, which we've had for years and haven't gotten out. So we want to get to that one. 11, which we can't stop talking about in our circles.
It's a soccer game or football game for those of you overseas.
And then we have our series.
Oh, yes. So I mean, that's just a taste of what games are coming, right? Because we have a lot of those. So that's a ton. Yeah. There's even more. So we could go on and on.
Well, it was so funny because when we got our collection really small and now we're surrounded by it, these are all games that we want to play all the time. So when you're looking around, you're like, oh, I want to play that. Oh, I want to play that.
As opposed to being surrounded by 6 shelves of games that
you're just staring at it like a pantry that you've opened 5 times.
Yeah, nothing in there is appealing, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
As you see behind us, center screen is our Lacerda Big Box collection with a couple
of
other
imposters.
Some other imposters that don't quite belong, but it's the right size shelf for it. With that said, we've looked back at all of our lists because you know how we love our Lacerda games, right? We looked back at all of our videos covering his big box games, and the running theme here and the problem is that they're all Kickstarter preview videos. None are actual good, solid, well-produced playthroughs.
Yeah.
So our goal for this year, and if we do nothing else, this will be the one goal we do achieve this year, is we do a brand new playthrough of every single big box Lacerda game because we have all of them.
We have all of them, yeah.
One we were really missing was Kanban EV. As you can see it over my shoulder, it's there, and it's just I'm dying to break it out and get that going. But as soon as we get through our queue, this is going to happen. Yeah, and I think it's going to be sooner than later. We're going to just one after another, just refresh our rules on it, get it on the table, and with all of our new shiny camera angles and stuff, we're going to really step up.
Yeah, like a lot of these Kickstarters that we covered were years ago. Our cameras weren't as good. Yep. I know you did a solo gallerist video, which was amazing. But top of the line but it would be nice to kind of get those out. And they're games we've already played. We've played several times, so we just knock them out.
It's overdue,
play them, and it's well overdue and well deserved. And for games that we love that are always kind of top of our list, it's not fair that what's out there.
They don't exist on our channel as much as we promote and brag and everything about the Lacerda series. We just don't have good coverage of it, and it's shameful on our part. And we're going to rectify that this year. So be prepared for some long running content, but we are going to make sure that we really hit those out of the park, to be quite honest. Very excited for that. So that's coming really soon. But all right,
I think that's it.
Yeah, so we'll close out with as you know, we have our Patreon, and this is our first year dabbling in this Patreon space, and we were always people always told us that we should do it. Like our followers, they want to support us, so we finally bit the bullet and did it. And it's been really, really good.
It's been so
not
much
even
fun.
For the financial side of it, but just to have a core group of fans and supporters that stuck with us through thick and thin, and really want to be part of the channel, really enjoy what we're doing, and we get to stay connected with them in this space all the time because we provide them their own content.
Right, like they see a lot more content that you don't see, and it doesn't affect what's being put on the channel because they're not nights that we would be filming anyway, but we're practicing a game or we're sitting down and just, all right, what do you guys want to feel like playing tonight? You know what I mean? And we have a list of things we kind of want to play a couple more times before we film them, so we just kind of like let everybody pick, or we pick, and it's just a casual, night of game, usually night.
Yeah, with a handful of people who are supporting us, and then we leave it up. They get to watch the replay of it if they couldn't make it because we have some folks overseas. But being in that program, for our patrons, coming in, they get a free Ant Lab T-shirt, so they do get some bling. And then we do a monthly drawing of Board Game, and contrary to some other things I've heard online, we actually deliver those board games.
Yeah.
So we've given away a handful of games. Yeah. We shipped one to Germany. One of our patrons, it was expensive to ship, but we did it. We committed to this. We are going to do it. We just shipped one out yesterday to one of our backers who, won a very good brand new copy of Dom Pierre.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready for next month. We'll give another one away. We're just going to keep doing it. Every month we do a drawing. It's randomized. And I just pull a name and then boom, there you go.
Right.
And we just let everybody know, hey, so and so won, and there it is.
Yeah.
And it's been great.
Yes.
So it gives them at least a nice surprise, right? Because a lot of them aren't looking for the free game.
Well, that's kind of the cool. I think that's the neat aspect of it is that for the most part, because we're not pressuring people to join Patreon and pay us,
right?
And the patrons aren't joining just for the giveaways or just for something. It's really this relationship where you just want a little more behind the scenes stuff because you're a fan of the channel. We want to share with you because we can't share with 25,000 of you a live, some live thing with I'm in my pajamas, we're getting up to go take care of a kid, but we're playing a game, we're having fun, and we're having casual conversations. It's not practical. Right. So it just gives us the ability to do that, and it gives you the ability to, or these people the ability to join in. So it's a very relaxed, cool, casual, just, if it works, it works kind of relationship. It's cool.
It's been good. Yeah. So we really enjoy it, and we're really grateful for those who are supporting us, and it helps run the channel, right? Because we have expenses.
It does.
Every month we pay for just to be able to stream. It costs $50 a month just to run that software. We had to upgrade some hardware, so that really helped out with that. So it's been really good, and it really helped us elevate.
Yeah, offsets that, so we don't have to worry about it.
We're always improving the content quality on this channel. It's just what we've always been proud of.
Yeah,
is always having good audio, good video, good cuts, everything, and try to get as much as we can, as easy as we can out, because then it allows us to build more content.
Right.
So it's been good.
Excellent.
I think.
The retreat.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to Level Up Retreat in July. Kind of just last minute decision. Decided to do it. We realized Connecticut's only 3 hours from us, so we're like, well, might as well go. Make a trip of it. And so if you're going, awesome. We'll see you there. And if you're not, maybe consider it. And we can meet up. And I think that my understanding is it's more casual, kind of like a 200 people type event, as opposed to a big convention. Dice Tower East was one of our favorites to go to, right?
Yeah, that was
because
really
it was just.
I mean, it was
gaming.
smaller and just game. We just gamed and had a great time. Got to
Yep.
connect with a lot of people, and it was just really fun. Get you back down to why you're in this hobby.
Yeah.
And we do enjoy that. So
Very cool.
Very exciting. I think that is everything?
I think that wraps it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've covered everything. We'll obviously have more updates in the future, but that's about it. Thanks for watching. Any comments or questions or requests down below?
Yes.
We've been getting a lot of good traction on the channel lately.
Yeah.
Growth kind of stagnates for a while, and then it picks up, and then it stagnates. But I think the channel growth lately has been really positive, and I think that's a good sign that we're showing up in the feeds again. I think we get kind of buried. We don't keep up with the pace.
Well, yeah.
And
we're not the best marketers.
We're not very good. Yeah, we don't do a good job of that, and that's okay. But we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But as long as the content's good, that's all we care about. So we thank you always for watching. We hope you enjoyed this update. And any questions or comments, please put them down below. We'll see you.
We'll see you.